Good wishes, dear students. The concept you will be learning in today's class is calculations involving unit cell dimension. The method implemented or used to know the unit cell dimension is X-ray diffraction method, which is based on the principle or the theory Bragg's equation, which states that 2d sin theta is equals to n lambda, that is, path difference is an integral multiple of the wavelength. You also know very well crystal structure or a crystal lattice are made up of many number of repeating unit cells. So when we say unit cell dimension or the knowledge of unit cell dimension, we come to know certain terms or a certain type of explanation involved in it. One, it tells us the arrangement of particles in the unit cell. It tells us the interparticle distance in the unit cell. It also tells us the interplanar distance in the unit cell. Now to understand these two terms, if you look at the primitive structure of a unit cell, if you consider this to be the lane 1 and the other one to be the lane 2, the distance between these two planes, the plane 1 and plane 2, the distance between these two planes is taken as a interplanar distance. You also know unit cell represents a cube. In the cube, all the sides are equal. So edge length, now D also stands for the edge length. So different terms are placed, but they are one and the same. Moving back to the equation, 2d sin theta is equals to n lambda. Lambda stands for wavelength of the X-ray used in the diffraction. N stands for the order. D stands for the distance. Distance, when it comes, it could be interplanar distance or a interatomic distance. Now one more term, interparticle distance or interatomic distance. When we say if these two particles happens to be the atoms, the distance between them is called as an interparticle distance. If these two particles represents ions, the distance could be between them could be called as an interionic distance. So the D stands for distance here and a theta stands for angle of diffraction. Now the types of variable involved here are D, theta, n and lambda. You have a numerical questions asked in it. So you need to know the terms involved in it to work out those questions. So if we know the value of any out of the any three value of any three variable, the fourth variable's value can be easily calculated. For example, if my point of interest is to know the distance between the interplanar distance, the same formula I can rearrange in such a way so that I get D is equals to n lambda by 2 sin theta. So this is about a Bragg's equation. Let's move on to learn in short how do we get 2d sin theta is equals to n lambda based on the knowledge we get from the two different planes. So if you look at the structure here, I have taken a two plane, plane 1 and plane 2. The black dot stands for the atoms or ions or particles arranged in a plane 1 and plane 2. X-ray diffraction method, when we say X-rays are passed over the crystals. So the direction I have given, in this direction X-rays are passed here. The atoms present here absorbs the incoming X-rays, undergoes diffraction and finally gets reflected. Similarly, in the plane 2, the atom present here, I have just taken one atom to show the explanation. So the incoming X-rays are absorbed by the atom. Diffraction it undergoes diffraction and gets reflected. So PA stands for the incident ray. AQ stands for reflected ray. Here RC stands for incident ray, CS stands for reflected ray. So you understand what does the rays talk about here. The second one, if the angle formed here is known as an incident, the incident ray gives us angle of incidence. Now reflected ray gives us angle of reflection. So you have learnt it in a physics detailing. Angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. The same concept is also suitable here. Moving on to, now this, if you look at these two lines of plane 1 and plane 2, they represent a kind of parallel line. So in the parallel line, no matter wherever you calculate, the distance remains the same. So if you look at the distance between these two plane to be D here, the same distance only will be found between A and C. So you understand the terms, what does PA and AQ stands for, RC and CS stands for, and what's the distance between AC is suitable and the theta angle, the angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection, you understand. Now, we need to know, in compared to the length of the rays travelled by plane 1 and the length of the rays travelled in a plane 2, the length of the rays travelled in a plane 2 is longer than the plane 1. If you look at if you draw the perpendicular along the AQ, so BA is a perpendicular drawn along AQ. Similarly, AD is the perpendicular drawn along a PA. So this tells us the extra length travelled by the plane in travelled by the ray in a plane 2. Now, when we say path difference, we need to calculate the extra length travelled by the rays in the plane 2. So how shall we calculate it? If we know the distance between B to C and C to D, it's easy for us to tell the path difference. So to calculate the path difference, see what we have done here. If you look at it as a right-angled triangle, in a right-angled triangle, now this distance hypotenuse we know to be D here. Sin theta is equals to, because our point of interest is knowing the length between B and C and C and D. Sin theta is equals to opposite by hypotenuse. What is the opposite side? BC. Hypotenuse is AC. So BC by AC. Sin theta is equals to BC. We are yet to calculate here. AC, the path difference between these two. The interplanar distance between these two. It's taken as a D here. So crisscrossing the sides we get. Therefore, BC is equals to D sin theta. So for this particular triangle, right angled triangle, we have calculated the length of BC. Come back to the another triangle. In triangle ACD, sin theta is equals to opposite by hypotenuse. What is the opposite side here? CD. CD by AC is equals to. So sin theta is equals to CD length we are yet to calculate. AC stands for the interplanar distance here D. So crisscrossing the side we get, therefore CD is equals to D sin theta. Now finally we have to know the extra length travelled by the rays in the plane 2. So how shall we calculate it here? Therefore path difference is equals to, what is the extra length travelled? BC plus CD. BC plus CD. What's the value of BC? We have calculated to be D sin theta. CD value is D sin theta. That is, BC is D sin theta. CD is D sin theta. Substitute the value. So we will get here D sin theta plus D sin theta. If we put together, what do we get it to be? 2D sin theta. So that's what we are coming back to the formula. Path difference is an integral multiple of the wavelength here. So we can substitute path difference is an integral multiple of the wavelength. Now you also know the X-rays they travel in the form of a wave here, both on the angle of incidence and an angle of reflection. So the distance between them is called as a lambda. Now when we say n here, the number of waves that we calculated from this B to C and a C to D. So that's the meaning of path difference is an integral multiple of the wavelength. Thank you.